Hi students, I wanted to take some time to go over the instructions for your classroom observation field experience assignment. If you go on Canvas, you will see under assignments, the assignment description will be there. It will also be located in one of your weekly modules. So here are the observation guidelines and requirements. You are required to perform 45 hours of observation for this class, no exceptions. For many students, this is the most important part of the class. The observation should be conducted in K through 6 classrooms, and you must submit your notes on Canvas at the end of the semester. They do not have to be typed, but they do need to be legible. They should represent 45 hours of observation with your notes for each session clearly labeled. There are several purposes for this assignment. One is for you to see firsthand what actually goes on in a classroom today so that if and when you become a professional educator, you will have a clear idea of how you should conduct yourself. Teaching is a tremendous responsibility and you will need to experience it in a way you have never had before. Second, you will be answering some questions about what you observe to reflect upon what you have seen and what it means to the teacher, the students, and to you. The third purpose is for you to have the opportunity to decide if this is really the profession for you. You are not limited to observing only one teacher, one grade, or even one school. It's a chance for you to have a realistic look at education today with all of its difficulties and responsibilities. So if you look a little further down, at the end of the semester, you will be required to submit typed or neatly handwritten anecdotal notes that reflect your 45 hours of observation. The notes must be submitted on Canvas, so if there are handwritten notes, you can go ahead and scan them and upload them or take photos of them and upload them. 5 classroom observation checklists. That's on the assignment sheet. Each checklist should reflect approximately 1 hour of observed instruction. So in other words, even though you're doing 45 hours of observation, you're turning in notes to reflect those 45 hours, you will only need to turn in 5 classroom observation checklists, which is a reflection of 5 hours of those 45 observations. We will have reflections intermittently throughout the semester from the Cal TPE website, and those will be submitted separately on Canvas. You will also include a reflection of the entire observation experience, and you will also need a signed log with a valid signature for each observation and a photo of you at the school site with the school name clearly visible. So you can go to the front of the school, in the office, etc., just to verify that you were in fact at the school site. If needed, you may use the following signed letter from me that you can show to schools, teachers, administrators. So I'll open that up so you can take a look. So when you're setting up your observation and you want to verify that you are a student who is required to do this assignment, you may want to show them the signed letter from me that kind of gives them an overview as to what you're doing for this assignment and why. So that is there for your use. So if we go back up, the blue hyperlink, this will open up the actual assignment sheet. So I will go over that with you as well. All right, so this top part here I read to you from the previous Canvas page. So here is the observation checklist. So remember, you are submitting 5 of these checklists. So you're doing 45 hours of observation. So 5 of those hours, you are going to create a checklist. So you will be looking at the criteria, indicating yes or no, and then giving me examples or comments. This is a Word document, so you can go ahead and open up the document and type directly into it. So some of the things that you're looking for in the classroom: the teacher manages student behavior through clear expectations and a balance of positive reinforcement, feedback, and redirection. You're going to mark in this box, yes, if the teacher did in fact do those things, and no if they did not. So if there is a no, please include comments as to why you think that that didn't happen. Was there an issue? Tell me what the teacher did instead of giving clear expectations. You might say, for example, the teacher gave instructions, but many students had questions. They were unclear on what to do, or the teacher gave a lot of negative feedback to the students or did not indicate any positive praise. So rather than just having a list of no, 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 no's with no explanation or no context, please make sure that whether you have a yes or a no, you have some sort of commentary. So if it's a yes, you would give an example of when you saw that in the classroom. If it's a no, maybe explain the context or why it was a no, what was missing, or what did the teacher do instead. The teacher uses efficient transitions, routines, and procedures to maintain instructional momentum. The teacher interacts positively with the students. Students interact positively with one another. The teacher communicates learning objectives to students. There is a clear beginning, middle, and end of the lesson. So this is important because you would want to be there to be able to observe the beginning, middle, and end of the lesson. So it just depends on how long the lessons are, but you want to be there to be able to observe, did the teacher start with the beginning of the lesson, the middle, and did you see a clear wrap-up or ending of the lesson? There is a combination of direct instruction, guided practice, and independent practice. The teacher monitors student learning during instruction. So for example, checks for comprehension, that can be in the form of asking the students questions to gauge understanding, having students come up to the board and do examples or something more creative. Sometimes we use formative assessments like thumbs up if you are following, thumb in the middle if you're still a little unsure, and thumb down if you need more explanation. So what sorts of way does the teacher monitor the students' learning during instruction? Are they working in groups and then the teacher's walking around and observing the groups to determine the students' level of understanding? Also, the teacher provides opportunities for student-to-student interaction. So hopefully the classroom has some opportunities for student-to-student interaction and engagement where the students are working in groups. The teacher or students poses critical thinking questions, so not just lower level questions that require only one answer, like who was the first president of the United States? Well, there's only one answer, but if you ask questions like, what are some criteria that makes a good president, then there are lots of different answers that students can respond. So what are some higher level critical thinking questions? The teacher provides opportunity for academic discourse. So again, instead of just the teacher talking to the students and the students listening quietly, it is an opportunity for students to have conversations using academic language, using new vocabulary that they're learning, just an opportunity to have a conversation about something that the students are engaged in. The students are engaged throughout the lesson. So usually it's easy to tell when students are not engaged. So if they're not asking questions, if they are daydreaming, if they're asleep, etc. But if students are engaged, usually they're doing things like raising hands, they are moving around the classroom when there's collaboration, they are working with other students in an engaged way. So I noticed that sometimes it's harder for students to indicate when students are engaged. It's easier to notice when they're not, but engagement is a very, very big, important part of teaching. So that's something to definitely look out for. So that's the checklist. And now we're moving on to a recommended email template. So if you are going to reach out to a teacher via email, here is a recommended email template. You can obviously change it around, but it's just a suggestion if you're not sure how to word the communication when you're reaching out to a teacher. So for this assignment, you can choose any K through 6 classroom that you would like. So it can be a school that maybe you live close to. It can be maybe a school that you attended. Maybe you want to go back to your old elementary school and visit. If you have children, you might want to go to their school and do your observations there. If you work at a school already, you're more than welcome to do observations at a school where you already work. However, I want to make sure, in order to ensure an unbiased, objective observation, I encourage you to observe in a classroom where you are not familiar with the students and the students are not familiar with you. So if you do work in a school, either as a teacher or a TA, do not use the same classroom where you work. You need to select a different classroom to ensure an objective observation. All right, and so once you're done with your observation, you will evaluate your entire observation experience. So this will be completed at the end of your 45 hours, and you must answer all of the questions below to the best of your ability and include it at the end of your journal and observation notes. Be as specific as possible. So there are 10 questions here. What has the observation experience taught you about who you are relative to the teaching profession. What have you learned about your own assumptions concerning education? What have you learned about your own qualities that should contribute to your becoming an excellent teacher, etc. Moving down to number 9, do you still want to be a teacher? Explain, and then any final comments that you have about the observation experience. All right, and then this last part is the classroom observation log. Your log is not valid without a signature for each observation. So there's a lot of lines here. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to fill all of them up. It just depends on how many times you go into the classroom to observe. So if you're doing 45 hours, you should be estimating for an 8-week class about 6 hours per week. If it was a 16-week class, and you would be doing about 3 hours per week. So you can divide these up however it fits into your schedule, whether it's 2 hours at a time, 1 hour at a time, 3 hours at a time. That's what you'll put under duration. And then please have the teacher sign after each observation. Also, you must include a photo of yourself at the school site with the title of the school clearly visible. Once you take the photo, you can copy and paste it directly into the document and then upload it all together into Canvas. So the signature page can be photographed and or scanned into Canvas. All right, so another part of the assignment which will be submitted separately is the Cal TPE reflection. So let me go ahead and explain that part as well. All right, so the teaching performance expectations. So teachers in California need to complete an assessment in order to become fully credentialed, and those are called the TPEs, Teacher Performance Expectations. So to get you familiar with these TPEs, and this is also part of our student learning outcomes for the course, I just want to expose you to some of these items. So you'll see here that the TPE of the week is a small glimpse of each day designed to label routine experiences with the teaching performance expectation language. So you will have 4 different TPE reflections due throughout the semester. You'll be able to select whichever ones you want. So the first thing you're going to do is go to TPE of the week. You'll click here, and then you'll see here, we're already here at the elementary TPE of the week. So you'll want to stay here. You have the option to show secondary TPE, and then you also have an option to show special ed TPE. If you are in a special education classroom, feel free to click on those. But other than that, our default will be elementary TPE. And you'll see that these are 13 TPEs. The TPEs have been updated about 2 years ago, so we're looking at the older ones, which is okay for the purposes of this classroom. The new ones are just more condensed. It's the same concepts, but they've condensed them. So for the purposes of our activity, we're going to stick to this version because you have lots of options for your reflection topics. So you can select any of these numbers between 1 through 13. It doesn't matter what week we are actually in. You can just randomly choose any one. You'll notice the topics here, subject matter instruction, etc. So let's say I am going to select subject matter instruction. And once you click on the week, you then have 5 different topics to choose from. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And again, it doesn't matter the actual day of the week. I just want you to choose a prompt that you think you can respond to. So a lot of these prompts are geared towards the classroom teacher. So whether you're a student teacher or the actual teacher. So when you're choosing the prompts, you're going to want to choose ones that are either applicable to you as an observer, or you can kind of put yourself in the teacher's shoes and you can write your response based on what you saw the teacher do. So for example, if you're going to choose Monday, it reads, what standards did the students study this morning? How did the students with other instructional challenges perform? So as an observer, you may be able to reflect on this because the teacher hopefully is going over the standards, or the standards are posted in the classroom. And then you can determine how did the students with other instructional challenges perform. So other instructional challenges, we can determine that might be students who are who maybe have a diagnosis for an exceptionality. Those might be students who are below grade level in reading or math, etc. Maybe they have behavior issues. So that's something that you may learn once you've been doing your observations for a bit. Tuesday, for example, if you choose, what one strategy did you use this morning that went beyond the expectations of the scripted lesson? So again, the you is referring